Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you about one of the key values the school holds dear, and this is aspiration. Aspiration is a hope or ambition of achieving something. We all have these. If you've ever had dreams about your future, no matter how small, then you've had an aspiration. And these can come in many forms. You might have short-term aspirations. Perhaps you want to get to the end of the day without getting a C3, or maybe you want to pick up some more credits. These are both really positive aspirations which focus on the here and now and what happens over the next 6 hours. Or maybe you have very specific long-term ambitions. You might want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a baker or a games designer, or maybe you want to run your own business. You might see your future as a roadmap with a series of milestones that you need to achieve to get you to where you want to be. If so, that's amazing. I have a lot of respect for you. Most kids don't have this. I know I certainly didn't when I was young. Or your aspirations might be more general. For example, I believe we all aspire to have a happy life. That's an aspiration we all share. What this means might vary from person to person. For me, it's kind of simple. I'm easy to please. If my wife and kids are safe, healthy and happy, if there's good food on the table and the sun is shining, then that's enough for me. Many of you will aspire for more, and that's fine. But fundamentally, deep down, we all aspire to happiness. So at some point you might be asking yourself, why is Mr. Robinson waffling on about aspiration? Well, let me explain. We live in a world that has many challenges. Some of these challenges are short-term, but still have huge impact. For example, COVID has had a massive impact on our lives. Many of you, like me, will be grieving for lost loved ones. Many of you will have family members that have been impacted by the lockdowns. And many of you will feel anxiety over what is to come. But we're close to the end. Because of the aspiration of thousands of politicians and scientists across the world, we are moving towards a solution. Vaccines will soon become available, and when this happens, we can get back to living our lives and rebuilding the world. In a year, this will have become just part of our shared experience, and in 50 years, when you're helping your grandkids do their homework on the COVID pandemic of 2020, it will become part of our shared history. Other challenges, though, are going to be with us for a lot longer. Climate change is most significant of these, and to some extent presents an existential crisis for humanity. Our societies are dependent on energy and food, and the pursuit of these has led to consequences which will be with us for decades, if not centuries. Human activities such as burning fossil fuels has increased greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere. These trap the heat of the sun, leading to rising temperatures. Carbon dioxide levels are now higher than 400 ppm. This is higher than at any point in recorded history. In fact, we have to go back all the way to the Pliocene epoch 2.6 million years ago to find a time when they were as high as they are today. Back then, sea levels were 15 meters higher and forests grew as far north as the Arctic. Even if we were able to stop all greenhouse gas emissions now, temperatures will continue to rise for decades. So what's being done about climate change? Well, in 1992, when I was sitting my GCSE exams, scientists, politicians, leaders of industry, campaigners all came together for the Rio Earth Summit. Amongst many things, this saw the first global recognition that climate change was an issue to be tackled. 5 years later, in 1997, the Kyoto Protocol was signed, which for the first time created legally binding targets on reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Fast forward almost 20 years, and that brings us to the 2015 Paris Agreement, which strengthened these commitments, and for the first time, countries like China agreed to cut their emissions as well. In the UK, from 2030 it will no longer be possible to buy new diesel and petrol cars, and we've committed to be carbon neutral by 2050. That's 58 years since the Rio Earth Summit. That's the best part of a lifetime. So the struggle to achieve action on climate change has been incredibly long. It's also been incredibly slow. To get to where we are today has required tenacity, it's required focus, but most importantly, it's required the aspiration of literally millions of people working together, people who held and hold a shared ambition to create a future for this planet. Without this aspiration, nothing would have happened. But the struggle is far from over. We need scientists to develop innovative technologies. We need engineers to design and build renewable energy systems. We need journalists, campaigners, community leaders and politicians to help maintain momentum and to move us towards a more secure future. And where will these people come from? Well, the simple answer is from you, from your generation. In this school now, we have the future engineers, architects, scientists and campaigners. In this school are the people who will make the discoveries, the engineers who will build them, the businessmen and women who will fund them, and the politicians who will pass the laws, and the people who will vote for them. Long after I'm dead and gone, you guys will be running the show. But guess what? This gives me confidence, because when I walk around the school, I see the future. I see young people full of ambition and dreams. I see students wanting to improve themselves and succeeding. And this may sound like waffle to you, but guess what? I absolutely, truly believe it. So that's the end. I hope you have a great day, and remember, have an aspiration. It might be grand like, I'm going to change the world. Or it might be small like, I'm not going to get a C3. Look, whatever it is, it's going to make you a better person. And wanting to be better than we were yesterday is always a noble ambition. Take care.